Hey folks, James Craig here, and I want to just go ahead and do step 5 for photo reading activation. Um, with this book, Leading Change by John P. Kotter. Leading Change by John P. Kotter. Now, it was about 9 days ago that I came up with these questions, just a paper full of questions. And the way activation works is you go into an incubation period where your brain reconnects new neural pathways to get the information that you're seeking. When you ask your subconscious a question, your conscious mind works its way through the information to pick out exactly what you want, the answer that you're looking for. So let's go ahead and do it. Through these questions, and in future progression of teaching you guys how to photo read, we will be going into mind mapping and all the little techniques in activation that you can utilize. But for now, let's just see if our subconscious has been able to develop the right answers from these questions. Now, we're already prepared. We're ready to engage into this information. Now let's go ahead and see what we can learn from this book, Leading Change by John P. Kotter. So why do people underestimate the power of vision? Let's start there. So let's go ahead and see the change problem and its solution. All right, transforming organizations, why firms fail. Let's go and understand. Okay, here we go. Hey, we're actually right on the page 7. Page 7 will tell us, answer this question for us. They say it's an error, number 3, underestimating the power of vision. Okay, vision plays a key role in producing useful change by helping to direct, align, and inspire actions on the part of large numbers of people. Okay, so with the appropriate vision, you can build and create true true discussion with a purpose and clarity for the future direction. See, with a vision you can share with people in a basic, simple way that they can relate to. It's underestimated because we don't understand how much effect it really has in leading change. Without vision, you can't lead change. Nothing would change without a vision. If you don't know what your outcome is, you will not be able to get there. So, yeah, I think that's a good answer to why do people underestimate the power of vision. They underestimate it because they don't know the actual potential and the power behind it. They think that it's only an idea rather than something that you can actually turn into an effective, driving force of creating the outcome you're looking for. Let's see, what's next? The 8-stage change process. So this book gives you 8 stages of changing. Yeah, let's see if we can go ahead and dive further into that. Why don't we? Establishing a sense of urgency. Excellent. Complacency, for example. Sources of complacency. Let's see here. Pushing urgency level, role of crisis, role in middle. Well, let's see if we have a better explanation of that. The 8-stage change process is actually very complicated in this book. Um, it says it's very, very difficult. But okay, so you got a sense of urgency. You got a reason to pull people's attention in. I'm starting to get this repetitive idea already up from 2 books I've done. You got to bring people into attention grabbers. Why do they want to hear you? Show them why. Or their before their complacency goes out the window. And focus on a compelling mission. You want to understand that you have a lot of value and that you have a lot to give, and you want them to be able to get it as fast as they can right now where they're at, rather than having to find another route to go. Let's see. Oh, you know what? This is the 8-stage change process is actually going to be answering the next few questions that I've asked. Pushing up the urgency level. How can we push up the urgency level? Why don't we just oh, yeah, there we go. Understanding what makes people complacent. When you understand what makes people complacent, you're able to understand how to increase their level of interest. Taking people from their comfort zone and throwing them in an uncomfortable idea is the best way to grab their attention, because it already affects them in a way that they have to try to understand a better way of understanding it. What am I trying to say here? You know, People want to be pressured into things just a little bit, just because you're not going to get out of your comfort zone if you don't get pushed out. You stay comfortable because it's comfortable. You want to do the things that you already know um, how to do. So the best way to get someone's attention quicker is to kind of push them out of that comfort zone, out of that complacency, and it allows them to then have a time limit, a quick urgency to get the information they need, so they can kind of go back into their comfort zone. So, break their attention, draw them in, and there we go. Next up, guiding coalition. Guiding coalition, creating the guiding coalition. Well, what is a guiding coalition, first of all? Let's see. So it's a single larger-than-life person. Okay. Okay, it's working together. Yeah, coalition, guiding coalition. So yeah, it's basically bringing you know a large group together in a single vision, and yeah, I mean, it's true. When you have one, two, three, four people working at something, rather than just one person working at it, you're going to get there faster. And let's see, why is a vision so essential? Let's find out why John P. Kotter thinks vision is so essential. Clarifying the general direction for change by saying the corporate equivalent of "we need to be south of here in a few years" instead of "where we are today" simplifies hundreds of thousands or more detailed decisions, or thousands of more detailed decisions. Um, vision gives you direction. Then vision motivates people to take the action in the right direction. Um, then vision also helps coordinate the actions of different people, even thousands and thousands of individuals, in a remarkable, fast, and efficient way. Vision gives people a singular look in one direction, a singular idea that they all can draw a similar conclusion to. Vision gives people the ambition to move forward on the actions that they need to take to really develop, the end outcome that they want. Um, it brings people together in a unified. way. A great man once always told me, still tells me today, that it's more powerful to be unified than it is to be right. And when a group of people are unified in one vision, it makes it that much more powerful, and you're more likely and most likely to get to that end outcome if everybody's following in the same vision. Vision is important to be clear, concise. It should be present tense. It should be easy enough to understand for a 5-year-old. A child should be able to understand your vision. It is so clear. When it's clear enough for a child to understand, your vision is good enough to share with others and to create the coalition, and you know, and all of that will wrap around to everything else when you're trying to change. You got to have a vision to change in the first place. The sense of urgency is just to capture the attention of others. The coalition is just to create, an environment of multiple people that will, work together for a singular vision. See, next question: How to communicate the change vision. So communicating change vision. Right. So, how do you communicate a vision of change? Let's just say you want to change right now. How do you want to change? Write it down. These are the things that I want to change. These are the things I know I can change. These are the things I know I can't change. What are they? Understand them. Be specific. Be specific. Now, how do you communicate that? You want to communicate it in a way that's not, abrasive. That's very, very subtle and very helpful. Communicating it should be able to actually help on an emotional level. Accepting a vision of the future can be a challenging intellectual and emotional task. Here's the thing, though. Understanding that it's an emotional task, you can understand that you have a choice then. And when you're able to understand that you can choose your emotions, you can choose them wisely enough to realize that this is a change that you want to occur. Now that you've been specific, and now that you're emotionally connected to it, this isn't a change that you can actually develop into. And when you communicate that to other people and they can understand it in a very simple way, that they themselves then can go out and change who they are, the way they speak, the way they act, the way they see themselves, the way they hear themselves, and then eventually it proceeds into other people and their perception on them as well. So, communicating change through your vision is not difficult. It's easy, because your vision is change, and then your communication then opens up to everyone else to see that vision for what it really is. How structure can undermine vision. This is interesting. Let's see, how structure can undermine vision. Okay. This gives examples of employees and how structure can undermine vision. A vision of, just on the example of employees, giving a vision that will create an idea for individuals to become a better employee. can undermine the overall structure because maybe someone doesn't think that employee can do better. You know, maybe your vision includes that employee being able to do better and increase in their own potential. However, the structure of the system states that the person above them won't agree with that lower level, even though the lower level may have a better opinion on the subject. Um, Maybe that's not clear enough, but a structure can give you weaknesses. It can create weaknesses that you can find that are in your foundation. Um, when you construct a vision, especially if it wants to be change, you want to construct something that is completely concrete on the base. You want to have a foundation that is able to scale up. You don't want to have a structure that has holes in it. You don't want to have pillars holding you up that have little notches in them. You don't want to have anything that's going to, you know, interrupt the integrity of the structure or of the vision that you have in place. You want to, you want to guide change with a powerful vision that doesn't harm anybody, that doesn't, you know, disempower anybody. You want something that empowers people to move forward. Not something that's going to hold them back just because, one person says one thing and another person says another thing. You want that vision to be unified, and the structure of it sometimes is not as sound as we wish. Focused vision is what it is. An unfocused vision can be modified. Yeah, it says you basically have to eventually reorganize if you try to set up a structure without having the right energy towards the vision to make it a reality. Anyways, let's go on the next one. What type of new approaches can we take today? Leadership and lifelong learning. Some new approaches we can take today is actually developing an idea that we have the power to empower people to affect change. Tapping an enormous source of power. I believe that you could just say, let's change. Let's change together. Let's change for the better of humanity. Let's change for the greater good of all people. And that there is a good way to start in the affecting of other people to change, because what that will do essentially is open up new neural pathways of the brain and create new ideas that will formulate into an actuality, which soon enough will become your reality. And that there is change in itself. I mean, come on. And if we want to do it with leadership and in a lifelong learning, we just got to go out there and do it. We have to show up as the example for people to actually start to catch on the idea. And when we show up as the example, it gives someone a foundation to base upon what a structure that they want to build or the vision they want to build. And those principles can be summed up in a few simple sentences. But right now, let's just focus on the change of our perspective. What is our vision? Is it clear enough for a young child to understand? Can it help others? If it can't, well, how can it now? What can we do to create a better person after speaking to them? What can we say that empowers somebody to become who they really are? What can we do to show them that it's not out of reach to think that you have such greatness inside of you? Oh yeah, Let's just get out there. Let's write down our vision because it's in our grasp. It's in our hands right now. We get to decide what it is, and we get to lead the change that's possible. This has been fun to go into Leading Change by John P. Kotter. I'm sure there's a ton more questions I would like to ask this author. But for now, I just want to give you guys ideas of how photo reading can work for you. This has already brought in a bunch of new ideas for me. I hope whatever book you're reading today is bringing in a bunch of new ideas for you, because the questions that we ask of these authors and the questions that we ask of ourselves give us the answers we've always been looking for. And it's those answers that have always been within us. My vision here is to give you guys an idea of how to process information a little bit better. This isn't revolutionary, this is evolutionary, and we need to realize that we can change past thoughts and patterns, and we can step into a new vision that we are infinite beings and we have the potential to understand all the information that's out there in an easy and effective way, which only took 35 minutes, and I think I've got the core value of these books already. Maybe they weren't exactly expressed like everyone would hope. However, we all get a different value out of it. So if you photo read this book, Leading Change by John P. Kotter, and you have something else and you get something else out of it, I would love to hear about it. So I'll leave a comment. If you have a question, ask it. Maybe you have a better question. I would love to go into it with you. I would love to be able to activate that information with you, because I know what you have in your mind, I have in my mind as well, and the best way to connect is to converse. So, this is James signing out for now. On step 5, activate photo reading for Leading Change by John P. Kotter. So go out there, guys, and get the information you want from this world, because it's all available to us. We all have it within us. Have a good night for now, and have a good reading tomorrow. Bye for now.